It is time for confessions, a real path with a real God in an unreal and twisted world. That's how I see it, and so I'm going to share from my personal path in life. Today, I'm going to share a little bit further on the things that I've spoken about earlier. Because for those who have listened before, they know that I've been struggling with my eyesight and with different patterns that are related to that, and kind of like the mystery of finding out how it's all connected and how can I make a difference to make it into something better. How can I get to the core of it and do what I need to do to create a positive change? Surely God is in charge, but we often do invite bad stuff. We have these little doors open and misperceptions and things that, well, is part of creating the bad realities that we are struggling with. And so I'm not saying that God is not in control and that He is not the source for healing. However, I do believe that we humans do a lot of mistakes, and some of them leads to the things we struggle with, and that means that we can do something about it. Now, I shared earlier about the pattern of subtle abuse and of getting new eyes of faith. And after I had this, experience, and I was actually put on a computer-free diet, sort of like, hey, you got to remember what life is about, and you need balance. As I went through that, and it was good. I mean, we really need that, all of us, and it did remind me that, I actually have a house, and I got kids and a body, and that's good to remember, so that we do a little bit to take care of it and just keep it in mind at times. So I got the chance to do that, and that was good. And now I keep that in mind. I work on that to keep it in my mind, even if I go back into the computer world and do stuff inside that little digital box. But what came to me also was that so many times when I went into, doubt and worrying about how am I going to do these things, it was as if God put a light blue cloth on my eyes. And it was as if it was a healing reminder of what He'd said, or what I perceived that He said, that He would give me new eyes of faith. And so through that little gesture, that little reminder of that tiny little light blue cloth, like a baby color cloth, I started to realize that I need to get childlike faith in this, like just completely leaning on my Father and not allow doubt to terrorize me. Because the thing is that I have a lot of visions, and I see and I know things that are far ahead in the future sometimes. And that can be a real burden. In my case, darkness has used that against me. It has used it to demonstrate that, see, this is God's will, but we can break it. We can destroy it. And what's worse than having God's will destroyed? Okay, I didn't manage to get it through, like I failed, or like I'm helpless in the hands of evil, and even if it is God's will, it is failing. That is harsh. That is not a good place to be, and that's what they've been playing up against me, and they've demonstrated it very clearly. And it's been things that I really, really know is a part of God's will. And then, well, that hurts a lot more. You can't just say, oh, well, it was just, something. It hurts so much more than if it is my will that is being, martyred. So I went through these stages, and God just put this light blue cloth on my eyes as a reminder that what we are aligned with, what we agree with, is what we empower. And so by me believing the lie, by me getting upset and fearful and concluding based on things that has happened and based on things that are happening, I was empowering these forces. I was empowering doubt. And of course, that's not gonna bring the good fruits that I desire. That's not gonna bring God's fruits. And as I got that reminder that I need to have these brand new eyes, like a tiny child that just trusts. And, even if everything looks crazy, it's like, but my father said they would be like that. And so I'm not gonna even question it. I'm not gonna be affected by what I see and feel and experience and realism and real life and everything. Basically, I'm just gonna trust what my father said. And that is hard. That is really hard if everything speaks against that. But still, that is what it means to walk in faith and to have faith, isn't it? So I've been practicing on that, and it's been very, very fruitful. I just notice in my spirit and in my emotions and all that I've hit something here. God has brought something very, very valuable to my attention, and I'm chewing on it, I'm working on it, and it's growing. So I find that remarkable. In addition to that, I've had also a vision that came to me that was just a glimpse, because I told in the former files that it was as if I was about to be given a thick belt, very big and thick belt with the mounting points for, well, like 12 points around, and it was very thick and metal, as if it was for war. And it had 12 points all around it, and I kind of like knew that these were like places where living water would run out from. And then I got this little vision, like the glimpse, as I said, and that was just me starting to gather these hoses that was going to be connected to these, I don't know if mounting point is the right thing, but it's like fireman hoses that's going to be connected to these 12 different hoses connected to 12 different points on this belt. It's going all around the waist. I find that very interesting as well, but the thing is that I have no idea what it means in real life. I do understand that a belt probably talks about or hints of something related to truth, because you have the belt of truth in the full armor of God. And the 12 points, well, 12 is a very special word or number in the Bible. So that has to do with government, it has to do with the balance of God and all the different aspects. So it's kind of like a number of totality, all the different areas, all the different gates. And you have the tribes. There's so many things that is divided into 12. So it's definitely something that God is doing a lot. And I have a lot to say about that, but I'm not going to go into all the details now. So something about pouring out living water and something about truth and the aspects And still, I have no idea what it's going to look like in reality. And I'm sure that at some point when it's getting closer to being a reality, fear is going to strike me, and the enemy is going to try to convince me that it's not going to work out, that I'm failing, that it's being stolen from me or something like that. And that's when I have to apply my eyes of faith, childlike faith that, well, sorry, God said, he showed me this, so I'm just going to rest in that. And, that's what I believe in. I'm not going to make it any more complicated than that. So with that, I'm signing off now, but I do want you to get inspired and practice having childlike faith, having eyes of faith so that you can see what God is doing in the middle of all kinds of destructive or disrupted stuff going on around you. Because that is the clue to pulling it in and stand in agreement with it so that it can become real. May you be blessed. Take care. God is with you.